another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Evening, guys. Welcome to Crossroads in Boxing, episode 11, with myself, CJ Spate, and my main man, Eric. We've got a lot to talk about tonight again.
Sorry, my bad. I don't know what just happened. My bad. I just fully clicked on something by accident. Yeah, that's my bad. Go on, DJ. Go on.
Before we get started, we've just got a short clip from our sponsors, D-Rock Clothing. Hit it. We're back, guys. How we doing, pal?
I'm good. How are you? How's things?
Thank you. Good. Yeah, busy. It's been a busy week. There's been boxing news going on, hasn't there? So, where would you like to start tonight?
We'll start with the TKO Boxing League, or I'm not sure what to call it, if it's a boxing league or whatnot, but we have the pay scales here for of what these fighters are seemingly going to get paid when they're ranked. I'm not sure how the ranking system's going to work yet. But
or who's going to be involved in anything like that?
Yeah, we don't know who's going to be involved yet. I saw today that Shannon Courtney had a picture with Dana White saying, with a small caption about news, a big news or something. But yeah, these are the pay scales. You've got 20 grand for an unranked opponent, 10 rounds, which 10 rounds is a bit strange for me because unless the championship fights are 12 rounds, but you've got going up to 50k fighting a ranked opponent from in the top five to top 10. You get 50k. I don't know if that's both fighters getting 50k. I'm guessing so. But it says unranked opponent. I'm guessing both of you would have to be unranked. I'm not sure what the
because how they started.
I'm not sure. It's there's a few holes you can pick through it, because if you're fighting an unranked opponent, what's that unranked opponent getting? Because you're only showing us the pay scale for your A side by the looks of it. Or if you're both unranked, you're both getting 20k. And if you're ranked, you're getting 50k. If you're unranked, you're getting 20k. But like you said, I don't know who's ranking. How do we get these rankings? What does a fighter have to do to be ranked?
I would have thought that we'd have heard a little bit more about it now. I know that I think Alexander Usyk put out a statement, didn't he? It's something to do with Turkey Al-Sheikh, and that just I think it was actually him wanting to know more, and I think that was about the rankings as well. So it's all to play out in it. It's all to unfold as we go on. I think they will do it slowly as well to sort of keep us hooked, to keep everyone asking questions. I think it's going to be a real big thing, though. I really do think it's going to take off. Me and you spoke about it earlier today. Dana White's been chomping at the bit to get into something like this in boxing. As you said, he was involved in boxing before, but he's been waiting to...
with Zerfa, is it Zerfa Promotions or whatever he was, Azufa Promotions that was trying to do years. Well, I remember that was like back in like 2007, 2008 time when you was hearing about Zerfa boxing. And yeah, he has been trying to get into boxing for a long time. Obviously, this TKO venture seems to be his goal in it, with Turkey backing him. I'd like to see, because he's got fighters ranked opponents from 5 to 10. Obviously, you've got your top 10, but unranked, would unranked be your ranked 11? I'm not sure what unranked would be. I'm really stuck on that.
And how do we set up the fights? You know, how does number 10 get to fight number 5? Do you know what I mean? Is it just Dana and Turkey Al-Sheikh that are going to be making these decisions, or is it going to be like the Premier League? Is number 1 going to have to play away one day at 20 away? Does that make sense? Is everyone going to go have a shot?
Yeah.
That's what I would actually like, something similar to that. It would be nice to have everyone have a go at some point.
Yeah, it would be. Like, I don't think that, for me, I don't think there's really that much of an issue with the league per se. I don't have an issue with it, because for me, when you look at the pay scale, especially in that pay scale, that league isn't going to have any high-end boxers right now, because those high-end boxers are making 1 mil plus as a standard. You've got the likes of Brian Norman Jr., who turned down $1 million or 1.7, whatever it was, to fight Boots. Like, if fighters like that are turning down that money, they ain't going to be fighting for top line 750k. Just before I continue, we'll just go into the chat. Ra with I want to hear some hate. Ra, that's on you. You tell us, we'll read it. And Ra, to be honest, you've had the invitation to come up here, so you can come up here and hate as much as you want. To be quite honest with you, you've got that invite. You've got the personal invite.
Anything whatsoever.
Rico, evening, boys.
Evening, boss.
Ra again.
Pay scales suck by the standards of top level guys, but decent for 90% of boxers. I actually said this to you earlier, Ez, didn't I? I actually said, like, it shocked me, the money. I mean, from me being in professional boxing, having my trainers and second license, I've seen journeymen pick up $3,000 on a night. Do you know what I mean? So to say an unranked to get 20 in this big scale new league, it did shock me a little bit. I would be expecting more from Dana White and Turkey Al-Sheikh, who are the monies at the minute. Show me the money.
The problem is with that is they have to start somewhere. These fighters, like we've spoke about, I feel like, for me, what they're trying to do in America is similar to the British title. They're trying a ranking system. It's one belt. You go through. These prospects come out of amateurs who can't get a deal with a major promotion, because there's plenty of boxers out there who can't get deals. You know what I mean? And who's stuck in limbo. They're the fighters who I believe they're going to try and get. They're going to try and get these sort of fighters in, because this has to be a long-term plan. For me, it can't be a short-term plan, and I think all boxing fans are looking at it like, well, how's it going to work? It's not going to last. They need to start somewhere, and I think the pay scale, it's somewhere to start. You're going to get interested in fighters who are good fighters, but can't get a deal. They're not the cream of the crop just yet. They haven't exposed that talent yet. That's what Dana's going to be looking at. The same as like the Contender Series, what he does at UFC. I think that's the sort of fighters he's going to be looking at, where it's either young prospects coming up and fighters who's either fell off or who can't get a deal right now. It might be names we've heard of, maybe that towards the end of their career, where they're just looking for a bit of money, they might join the league. Well, what else? Have you got anything else to say on that bit?
The statement of just because you're ranked in the with the 4 championship bodies doesn't mean you'll get ranked in there. It is a big one to say, don't you think?
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Ra, listen.
10K
How much do you hate? Tell us, Ra. Say it. Don't hold back. Tell us you hate this. Come out here and say it.
Oh, sure, I said. I
Um,
remember reading that Rigo got a gross pay of 40K for mandatory defence. After all the expenses, he'd be left with 15K. Might as well stack shelves in Tesco's, and he was the top pound for pound. Yeah, but that's the thing. Fighters like you're coming away with that. What are they offering? They're offering what for a champion? 750K. Hey, it's better than the 40K. It's definitely better than the 40K because Rigo, as good as Rigo was, the problem with boxing is Rigo was so good, but he had no star profile. A lot of people didn't like his style, and I don't. I think TKO is trying to go with the UFC model where they build the brand and people are going to watch because the brand's got a show on, rather than this fighter's that rather than relying on a certain fighter's marketability, they want to market the company, and the company is the one that's gaining. So whenever they put a show on, there's fans of the company rather than fans of the fighter. You know what I'm trying to say? That no matter what show they put on, fans are going to go and watch because they know they're going to be 50-50 fights, exciting fights. And that's where the fighters will get the names from. The problem TKO might have later on down the line is when those their champions, get to that level, get to the 750K and start blowing up and people start looking at them. Where do these fighters go from then? Are they allowed to leave the league? Are they allowed to?
If you win this TKO league, however it may be set out, whoever's involved with it, if you become number 1, surely then, in your eyes, as you as that fighter, you're going to be like, right, okay, I want to pop at the WBO champion now, or the WBC or the WBA. They can't ignore each other's existence. And I also think on Raz's comment there, it's very important that we give a big shout out to all you Tesco shelf stackers. We know you're doing a good
yeah.
Right. Raz loves you.
Big up, Zach. That's my boy. Warlock says salute. What else has Ra got to say? Ra, go on, CJ.
If you check out my series of interviews on Punch Out Boxing with the contestants in the Grand Prix tourney, a lot of them have no promotional deal, even though they were accomplished amateurs. Listen, mate, boxing.
This is the. Yeah, go on, CJ.
If we touched on this the other week, of people are maybe misinformed about turning professional in general. That you could be a top flight amateur. I've shared the ring, I've sparred with some top flight amateurs. And if, first and foremost, if you cannot sell tickets, if you cannot put bums on seats, the chances are that your career is not going to go the way that it should. And that's talking about winning national titles. That's talking about boxing internationally, all of the above. If you cannot put bums on seats for a start, you won't have a good career. Never mind getting a good backing. Am I right there, Rez? If you can't get the right promoters half the time, that's it.
I agree. I agree. I think, and that's what Dana's trying to do. I'm not going to say Dana and Turkey. I think Turkey's probably more so the financer in this, and it's Dana's idea. I think Dana's trying to go away and relying on marketability of each fighter to gain a profit, like he's done with the UFC. They don't care. Like Zach, who's in the chat, he's going to watch UFC in London. You know what I mean? Like he loves MMA and loves UFC, but it doesn't matter who's fighting; they are interested in it. It's the UFC. It's the biggest brand. It's got the it's got fights what they want to watch. And I think that's what Dana's trying to do with boxing. He's trying to say he's going to take over. A takeover is very hard to do in boxing. You know, there's too many avenues to go down. But the best thing for them is a long-term plan, because if that long-term plan can work and it can build fighters up through this league, and the pay scale increases as the brand gets bigger, the pay scale increases. That would mean more fighters want to be involved. But I think how many fighters in each division? I don't know if they've said how many fighters is going to be in each divisions and whatnot, because like you said, saying, oh, it doesn't, if even if you're ranked in the top 10 of the ranking bodies, that doesn't make a difference. Like, well, they're probably right in that case, because they're not going to go after the fighters who are ranked top 10 in the bodies.
I get that.
So it's quite clever what they've done, what they've done with that statement, saying that, because the top 10 in those governing bodies ain't going to go into that league because the money ain't enough. When you top 10, and especially with Riyadh season, Ring Magazine, and everything that's going on right now, Turkey still has ventures with these people. This TKO boxing thing is starting new, and I think it's something from the ground up, where they'll keep watering it, keep working on it. But Turkey right now is going to do the business with the Matchrooms, with Queensberry, with Top Rank and Golden Boy, and even PBC. They will do business with them in the meantime, because that's where the big fights are. This is where the big fights are. They're only going to last for so long anyway, because these fighters are going to be retiring soon. So I think Turkey and Dana are maybe planning for the future, where these big guys and big names are going. They're creating the next big names in their league.
I think I can't wait for it to unfold, mate. I definitely, I'm looking forward to finding out more about it. I don't know when we're gonna. I've not seen any announcements planned or anything like that either. Like you just said, Shannon Courtney's had a picture with, was it Dana White today? So obviously he's maybe picking on certain fighters, picking people up along the way. Yeah. They'll probably be kept under wraps as well, won't they? There'll be a lot of like secret announcements and things like that just pop up. Shall we on to what we mentioned earlier? We never mentioned the Piers Morgan show. They had Eubank and Ben on.
Oh yeah, yes, Eubank and Ben. We never touched on the Eubank Ben Piers Morgan interview. Firstly, what did you make of the interview? What did you think of Connor's persona? I don't know what you want to call it, and Chris's persona, because that guy definitely is a character.
Chris has managed to keep his cool, or he's playing the game really, really well from start to finish of all this. It shows. Connor trying to be calm and make the comments in between of like, Chris, seriously, I really want you and your dad to make up, like, you know, from the bottom of my heart. I really want you to go back to your family and stuff like that. And I think he's just making himself look a bit, if I'm honest. I've really got to be honest. He's never going to live down the popping thing. At the end of the day, he's got to admit this, got to deal with this. Piers Morgan was so up Conor Ben's ass. I couldn't tell where Conor started and Piers ended. Honestly, it was ridiculous. I didn't enjoy it. It's just getting everything more excited for us, isn't it? I think every single bit of it, the story is just going exactly how it should. Conor's getting riled up.
For me, it's gone away from the dads now. It's the names are there, so it's going to be linked, but this has a storyline of its own. I mean, Zach will probably be in the comments in a second, slating me for supporting Eubank, but Eubank has Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith, Conor Ben, every single one, everybody who's supporting Conor Ben he has them on a string, just playing with them, because the way he controlled that interview between those two and didn't allow Pierce to go with the soppiness and, oh, we will do really respect each other. Yeah, we will shake hands. It's really just about boxing. It's nah. It's no longer just about boxing. Bro, you tried to cheat. That's one. That's one. One, you tried to cheat. Two, well, I don't like you. I don't like you. Why would I want to shake your hand? Like you, Chris is like, why am I going to shake? I don't want to shake his hand. I'm not going to shake his hand. Stop asking me the same question. And Connor is there. Connor fell into Pierce's trap. Connor's there saying, "Oh, I don't want you. I want you to get up and go home to your family." Connor, no, we need smoke from you. We don't need you to try being all philosophical and all nice. No, we need you to say, "I'm going to rip your head off." But yeah, I think my stance hasn't changed. I think Chris knocks Connor out. I think a lot of people don't like Chris because of his personality or not. So the clouding, he's a good boxer. Chris has fought so many fighters that are a lot better than Conor Benn. Conor Benn's hardest fight was Cedric Peno.
I remember that fight when he got dropped. Did he get dropped like 3 times or something?
Got dropped. Got somewhat of a gift decision. And the next, and then when he rematched him. All he did was box. Conor hasn't fought a puncher. Conor, in all these knockouts he's fought fighters who ain't going to trade with him, and who's there to be hit. He's moved up to 154, and the guys who was there to be traded with, and who was there to get hit, he hasn't been knocking them out.
He certainly since he came back from his beds.
One second. We've got our first super chat. The first one of Crossroad Boxing from Rico himself. Eubank has done really well, but he's still a knob.
Listen, here's what I wanted. Just before you got into the boxing side of it there. Oh, hang on. Right. CJ, you're in the spot. What percentage top-level competitors are cheating? I think a large percent are, especially ones that show dramatic physical improvement. And you wanted me to name drop? No. It's clearly a lot more. There's a lot more going on that we realise. And it's sad to think that the bodies must know. It can't just be kept between trainer and fighter, or trainer, fighter and promoter. The bodies have got to know. I mean, look at Canelo. It's as if that's just completely forgotten about all of a sudden, isn't it? Or the fact that Pacquiao never had to do a test. I may hold my hands up if I'm wrong with that, but I'm sure due to reasons Pacquiao never really did a blood test. Is that right?
Yeah, I think he had a foot. He did do tests when it was needed, but he sort of stayed away from it from the test. I also think there's too many. There's in the business of boxing. There's fighters moving from training camp to training camp, fight with different coaches, different thing. In the industry, these guys must know more than they're letting out, because you can't leave a camp. Let's say you leave a camp that was doing that. Like, surely when you go somewhere else, if you fell out with that camp, that's going to get out. So it has to be something where it's like inside. We talk inside. We don't say anything outside. That's it. Zach says it's weird how they're both disliked. The dynamic. No, I think it's Eubank and Ben. Yeah, they are both disliked. Eubank's always been disliked. That's the thing. Eubank, I've always been a Eubank fan, but everyone I know, including Zach, they can't stand him. They just don't like him, can't stand him. Connor, on the other hand, I liked Connor at first. I think everybody liked Connor at first. How he came out is everyone loves Connor at first. But listen, I don't stand with any drug cheating thing. Canelo, as good as he is, he'll always be a drug cheat in my eyes. And Conor Benn doing that, especially against one of my favourite fighters, then it's always gonna be FU on that one.
So Zach, I'm going to throw this one at Zach, right? If you're a team Ben and Ez is team Eubank, I'm team Eubank as well. When it's the case of people don't like Eubank's personality, what is it about Conor Benn's personality like then? Can I just put that out there, then? Because he's like a spoiled little twat, isn't he? Let's have it right.
Yeah.
And every 2
That's
seconds,
what's
go on.
That's what's turned me off of him. Like it's like even with this fight, you want this fight as much as Chris wants this fight. You're making out like, oh, you're fighting, I'm moving up 2 weight classes. It's a choice you're making. Bro, stop crying about it. You keep going on about I'm moving up 2 weight classes. Well, don't. You literally had a world title shot there. You had a world title shot. You chose this fight. You chose to move up 2 weight classes. Stop crying about it. Because after the fight, that's all you're going to cry about. So there's no point crying about it first. Because as soon as he gets knocked out, his first thing that's going to come out of his mouth is, I came up 2 weight classes. I came up. He's an idiot, man. What's Rico say? Good.
Which is a little pussy. Hey, which one? Are we missing comments here?
I missed it. Yeah, I missed the first one.
Pac-Man, listen. Pac-Man has some serious answering to do. In fact, I'll tell you what would be good. What's Holyfield and those freakish traps me up everywhere. Right, I think you bang on with that one. Listen, let's make a thing of name a boxer you think could have popped, should have popped, or is going to pop. Let's go for it.
Should have popped? Who should have popped? Well, who should have popped? I don't even know. Rico said Conor Benn. Alicia Baumgartner.
when Alicia Baumgartner
listen, CJ, we don't need to list them. Rico's doing it for us.
Felix Cash was definitely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was there when Baumgartner hit Terry with that bomb, right? What about news? Have you seen the Smith's dad? You know, the dad of Paul, Callum, Liam.
Yeah,
Steve.
Paul Smith Senior. Yeah,
absolutely jacked. He's definitely on it.
No, most of these trainers probably are. They don't have to fight. They don't have to take pictures.
Jones Jr., Hopkins, Pac-Man, Mayweather, AJ, Fury. Fury? What's Fury on effigy? He's got bigger tits than my mum.
Well, Fury's already popped. Fury's popped twice already.
A long time ago.
Yeah, but he's still a cheat. He popped. He should have never got to the Vlad fight. And he should have never got to that because that Christian Hammer fight should have been done out.
Has Tommy popped
as well? Tommy will pop. Tommy will pop.
Tommy's
he has to pop soon. Yeah, he has to pop soon.
Lucas Brown.
Lucas Brown, he's popped about 5 times.
Yeah. AJ definitely. Fury pops and disappeared. Keeps retiring to avoid testing. Has Dr. Rose in his camp. Look at this! I tell you what, we've opened a can of worms here, haven't we?
Yeah, you seem to have. That drug test is a hot topic. Well, Povetkin.
The tribal chief.
Oh, nah. What was I going to say? That really threw me off, that comment. No, Povetkin's just lost 10 years of his career like that. They've gone back 10 years and no contest his whole career, more or less. So the Dillian White knockout no longer exists. What did I say? Was able to fight Wilder coming off insane weight loss. That is true. That man is not that dedicated. That's all I know.
Has Wilder ever fought?
For what? that guy has 0 legs. He can punch at a certain level. Was able to slim down again at age 36 for Usyk and still survive that 9th round onslaught. To be honest with you, I feel like Fury's a chug sheet anyway. Dillian White produced speedy blood cells. Jesus, honestly, Dillian White, I don't know what he's going to do next. I really don't know what he's going to do next.
Singing.
Shall we?
He's gone into
singing. Before we go on to, as we're speaking about, we just spoke about Dillian White, AJ got mentioned. I've got this little clip from.
Yeah, play it.
From Jake Paul.
My brother.
Jake Paul saying this.
I know my boundaries. I want to fight Anthony Joshua exclusive because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua's ass. I know
he just got knocked out, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have a chin and he has no skill and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends, all this shit, but I want to fight you.
So here we have Jake Paul telling Anthony Joshua, who is an Olympic gold medalist, he has no skills, he has no chin, and he can beat him. This is the same guy who couldn't knock out a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. The same guy who got beat by Tommy Fury. CJ, I need to gather my thoughts on this one because I really don't get it.
Listen, let me take you, brother. I'm coming in. Right. Before we directly into Jake Paul's articulate outburst right there, what you guys that are listening, what is your thought of actual Misfits boxing and how it is actually trying to get involved in our world? Okay. What about these YouTubers and social media stars actually challenging proper boxers? What's your thoughts on that? That's what I want to know. We'll get to like Jake Paul and AJ, as in the fight never going to happen. But what do you actually think of it? Do you think, is it a laugh or is it just the money, or do you actually want someone to come over and smash Jake Paul's teeth in?
For me, the Misfits, like KSI's thing, what he does, I don't mind it. They seem to stay in their lane. They deal with athletes and YouTubers. That's what they deal with. They don't really deal with boxers. They deal with athletes and YouTubers. I don't mind watching it because some of those fights are quite entertaining. If 2 cats are fighting in the street, I'll probably watch it. You know what I mean? So there's certain levels of boxing when 2 fighters are similar levels, it's always going to be a good scrap. The Jake Paul thing, Jake Paul for me is a troll in boxing. If he wants to take boxing seriously, pick a weight class, fight in that weight class. Then we can call you a real boxer. You have not been doing that. You have fought retired MMA fighters. You fought the only fighter you fought, active boxer, and I'm saying active very loosely, is Tommy Fury, and you lost to him. Like, you fought 60-year-old Mike Tyson, who you couldn't knock out or drop. So he's just a troll that's in boxing for money. That's it. Fair play to him on his part. Fair play to him. If the fighters are going to fight you, like Canelo was going to fight you, it's just come out that Tank, if had Tank have beaten Roach, he was going to fight Jake Paul. So these big names who you seem to be going after, because first you wanted Canelo. Turkey said, nah, Canelo, come over here. You're fighting William Skull. Then you wanted to fight Tank. Tank messed the bag up, messed it up, drawing to Lamont, damn near losing. Then now, all of a sudden, what other name you can mention in boxing that people are going to say, oh, yeah, casual fans are going to say, oh, my God, yeah. What other name are you going to mention? There's literally 3 names in boxing that you can mention at that level that it's going to get you paid. Nobody else is going to get you paid. The only time you're going to get paid is with Turkey, and Turkey ain't going to pay you because he doesn't like you. So AJ had to be the name that he came up with next. There's nobody else with the marketability, with the not hype, but the name. Say, you know what I mean? The brand, should I say? The brand. Nobody else with a brand in boxing like Canelo, AJ, Tank. There's nobody else.
No. Shout out to Trey, brother. Shout out to
Trey. I was just about to say, shout out to Trey, a Yorkshire special. Always is. 2 cats fighting in the streets only in Yorkshire.
Only in Yorkshire. So I'm going to comment. Why or can we? Logan Paul's in the WWE, and he's doing really, really well. Should we just let Jake Paul into us? Should we just let him into boxing?
This is the thing, though. Like I said, if Jake Paul comes into boxing, fights at a weight class, goes and fights at cruiserweight or whatever it is, I think he's a cruiserweight. Fights at cruiserweight, fine. That's absolutely fine. Anybody is welcome in boxing. You mean you and I can turn pro today? We can go get our stuff and turn pro. Turn pro, that's absolutely fine. But it feels like you're not in boxing for the sake of boxing, what us boxing fans watch boxing for. We want to see who's the best. We want to see the build-up of a fighter. We want to see the journey. Jake Paul is in boxing because it's an avenue for him to make easy money, to be quite honest with you. And he's only going after the big names. I think if Jake Paul had come into boxing, listen, Tommy Fury's allowed in boxing. Let's be honest. Before he went on Love Island, nobody knew his name. He came out of Love Island, people knew his name, and no one knows his name for fighting a proper boxer.
Years ago,
he fought 2 YouTubers. He fought 2 YouTubers.
When he was amateur, Tommy fought a local lad to me. I won't name drop, but he fought a local lad who was boxing at a Selby Boxing Academy. It might have even been Mickey's then, and it was at Bridlington, at the open air theatre.
Yeah.
Rico, just so you know, Bridlington's like a seaside up here, mate. All right, fish and chips, sand and sea. All right. So he fought him at Brid. Our kid hammered him for 3 rounds. Tommy got the decision. John came into the changing room and said, your lad deserved that. I know of 3 more fights in the amateurs that happened with Tommy Fury. I think maybe 2. Bollocks.
It doesn't surprise me.
And it's the same now.
This is my point. Yeah, that's my point. My point is, Jake Paul coming into boxing is not a problem. I think everybody should be welcome to put the gloves on and give it a go and do the best at it. But for me, if you're going to do that, get into a weight class and try and beat them fighters in that weight class, then start calling out the names. Because in these years he's been doing the MMA, retired MMA fighters and that, Jake could have started and gone into a weight class and gone through a lot of those guys, because a lot of those guys, especially like at cruiserweight and stuff, a lot is you can get through journeyman. You can get through journeyman, get a ranking, because it seems like Jake has a professional team around him when it comes.
Definitely.
I mean, he's coaching and everything. It's professional, so I've not got a problem with him boxing. I really don't. But fighting a Tank Davis, who's a 135 fighter. That's it.
Sorry, that one. Right, listen to me, brother.
Oh.
I could sweet talk you. I could get you in farts out before you know what happened to you, mate.
Before Ra and Rico decided to
just lowering the tone. The thing is that we're actually speaking with like pronunciation stuff for you boys. If we like shut you like that and just start saying, "Now then, Ez, what does that think about boxing on the other day?"
Yeah.
Just I think it should have. They won't have a clue, would they?
Nah, not a clue. No, but like I said, Jake Paul, he has a professional team around him. I like what he's doing with his promotional company. It's fantastic what he's doing with his promotional company. I think he's just signed Alicia Baumgardner. That's a good signing. He's got Amanda Serrano. He's putting on the trilogy with her and Katie Taylor. His promotional company is doing really well. I like that. It's good. But when it comes to getting in the ring, I'll respect it more when he does it in his weight class and fights fighters that are active.
I think I could do Jake Paul.
You get him gloves back on.
I'm just. I think I could do.
You get gloves back on.
Listen, I just said it to you before we went.
This is your time. I can remove myself, and you can call him out now.
Are you ready?
I'll remove.
Right. The problem child, Jake Paul. My name's CJ Spate from Yorkshire. I've got Rico backing me. Okay, I've got good men behind me. I challenge you to a bout. I'm out of shape. I'm unfit. I'm as bald as a coot. I have no social media following whatsoever or money to back me. But I call you out. I do you in 4 rounds. Drop that mic. Put yourself back in.
I need that clipping. Trey, Rico, Shy, anyone that does clips, I need that clipping.
Don't make me social media for that, will you?
This one, you're about to go viral. I'm telling you. Well, anyway, what you haven't said your piece on what you actually think.
Comments are going mad, mate. Let's get it. Hype it. Listen, I've boxed amateur. I've boxed white collar. I've done my bit. I've sparred with some good kids.
Listen. Yeah, you skirted out after your call out video to Jake Paul. You can tell us what you think about Jake calling out AJ. Yeah.
Listen, I think AJ's backed in a corner and needs a fight, doesn't he? AJ needs to get himself recognised again. It wouldn't even surprise me. The fight's not going to get made, but it wouldn't even surprise me if it started rolling down the hill and building legs. Because AJ wants to get himself back out there at the minute, doesn't he? Dave Allen is getting AJ. Put it that way.
I tell you what. I want to see it because I need to see somebody just annihilate this kid. I'm not even kidding you. If Jake wants it, I want it. The same thing as Ngannou. What I said about Ngannou. When people is going about, oh yeah, Ngannou can do this, AJ. If Ngannou wants it, I want it because I know he ain't going past 3 rounds. He's not going 3 rounds. He's not. What did Rico say? CJ's got more power in 1 Yorkshire sentence than Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, right? Jake Paul, if you want a good Yorkshire leathering, I will give you a good fucking son.
Oh god, this episode's hilarious. Rico's just been a menace in the chat.
He's a nightmare, isn't he, Rico? Rico, back me, brother. I'm gonna start jogging in morning, kid.
Rico's got your back, definitely. Rico got your back.
Rico's a betting man. That's
why. I'll say this. I've got something else to show you actually, if I can get it. working, Joshua actually called. See, Jake Paul has a screenshot of Joshua actually calling him today. So we might actually get that fight. We may actually get that fight, CJ.
Let's have a look. Get it up.
I'm trying to, I'm still learning. I've done everything well so far.
Well, as it's sorting this, Rico, Trey, do you reckon D-Rock Clothing will back me if I get this fight? Like with some triple XL shorts or something to cover my big fat ass. I'm up for it, boys. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I'll dust off the go.
I've got you beating him. You know, I've got your back.
Back me.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, buddy. Right,
there we are. It's the same clip, but it's a screenshot of Joshua calling Jake Paul. If it is Joshua, I honestly, on my kid's life, I want that fight. I want that fight to happen because I need to see somebody finally put a nail in this kid's coffin. The fact you have the guts to say Joshua has no skill. No skill. This is the same guy that was honestly, it's crazy to me. Before we finish, we've got 15 minutes. Do you want to touch on the upcoming card this weekend? George Kambosos. But we've got a few fights on the undercard. We've got Nina Hughes versus Shanika Johnson. We've also got, who else was there? There's one more. Sky Nicholson versus Tiara Brown. We'll start with Nina Hughes. Shanika Johnson 2, I believe it's a rematch, right? I believe this is a rematch. What do you make of that fight?
I'm a big fan of Nina Hughes. I'll be fully honest with you and say I pretend to know a lot about Johnson. But Nina, she works hard, she's dedicated. I see Nina going on to do more in the sport. I really do. Again, let me just pull up Johnson's and let me have a look through so I can give you an honest opinion.
She lost to Ebony Bridges. I believe she lost to Ebony Bridges. They had some sort of rivalry.
So she beat Nina Hughes in a majority decision last time.
Yeah.
And she lost to Shannon O'Connell. Oh, is that Shotgun Shannon? And then Ebony to beat Shotgun Shannon. That's right.
Oh, yeah, that's the way around. Yes, that's the way around. It was. Yeah.
I liked that Shotgun Shannon.
Yeah, she was good. She was tough. That fight with Bridges. Go on.
Right, hang on. Just while we just got onto Bridges, we're already dropping bombs. We might as well drop bombs.
I know what you're about to say.
Kel Brook, baby.
I know exactly what you. Bro, how is that being kept a secret?
How was it a secret?
Bro, like, did you know about that?
Did I know that Kel Brook had put a chocolate brownie in Ebony Bridges? No, I didn't. Oh, right.
Oh my god. Oh god. Chocolate brownie, baby.
Chocolate. What's everyone's thoughts on that? Oh, you must have known.
Do you know how mad that is? That the first time everyone hears about it is her posting a video and Kel Brook's just there holding the baby. It's like, bro, where have you been when this girl has been posting all her stuff on it? What have you been doing, Kel?
I thought you were married, but then it turned out he split up a few years ago. Because I'm sure when he beat
CJ, my cousin actually saw my cousin. He works for British Gas. I think he's British Gas anyway. But he was in Sheffield and he saw Kel. And he saw Kel with Ebony, but he didn't realise it was her. So he took a picture with Kel, but asked her to take a picture of him and Kel. So he took a picture. So when he's come out, the pictures come out and put it in the family group chat. He's like, "Oh, that's who she was. I didn't realise that was her." but yeah, I didn't know.
That's
that.
what the biggest kept secret in boxing. Kel Brook will give me a chocolate brownie now.
Kel was You're out of order for that, Rico.
Kel was filming. I'm like massive news for boxing. And is it not the first time, am I right, 2 world champions have combined and had a baby? I bet it is.
Maybe. I couldn't tell you. I genuinely couldn't.
Has it?
No, well, you've got they got 2 Olympic champions, Tony Yoka and what's her name? His missus. They're split up now.
Mrs. Yoka.
Mrs. Yoka.
Wow.
Oh, but yeah, Trey says you're right. It might be the first time 2 world champions has had a baby. Well, that baby's destined to be a world champion, I guess.
Destined to be a dirty secret. Someone's upset somewhere out there because Kel's wife can't be about that. Surely it's bad.
That is bad. Anyway, what do you think of? So you're picking Nina Hughes for this rematch. The rematch is going to go the same way. Yeah,
again, I wouldn't like to make daft predictions because I don't know a lot about Shanika. Was it Shanika Johnson at Reg? Yeah. But Nina Hughes has been working hard. I've seen her on the socials recently, and she's actually quite good to watch. She's actually quite
exciting to watch. Yeah, she's exciting to watch. Yeah.
Do you like Cambosis?
Do I like Cambosis?
Yeah.
I think Cambosis is crap.
Dropping bombs tonight, aren't we? Are we allowed to be aired again, Rico, after this? Or are we done? What's happening?
We might be done. Just because of the chat, to be honest. No, you know what? Cambosis had his night, and I call it. I'll call him the split decision king. Every big fight the guy has won has been by split decision, and it might be a split decision he may not deserve, because I remember him beating Mickey Bay, split decision. He beat Lee Selby, split decision.
Yeah.
He beat Tio, split decision. He lost to Devon twice. He got beat by Maxi, but got a split decision. Like the guy, he's not he had his moment in it. He's not that level. I don't think I think there's a level for him. I think a gatekeeper. I think guys coming up, it's a good fight for. I don't think he's championship level. I really don't think he's championship level. But it seems like that's what his next fight is going to be if he can get past this guy. But I have no idea who this guy is, who he's fighting.
Is it Wiley? No, it's surely not.
Yeah,
Jake Willie.
No, I think it's Wiley. We'll go with Wiley.
Wiley has had 17 fights. He's only lost 1. He got stopped in that. In 16 of his wins, he's knocked out 15 of his opponents. So that's some big hitting. And I'm just looking down now. I'm looking down now, and it looks like the register for an agency department for Clipper or something.
Boxes in Tesco's. There might be plastic boxes in Tesco's. You don't know. Shout out to Ra.
Ra slagging off Tesco. Yeah, I mean, come on, bro. I was brought up on Matalan, and come on. What the hell is? Was Neto a northern thing, or was Neto a southern thing?
I don't know. I remember Neto though. I remember Neto being there and going.
Neto for like 3p.
Oh God.
The struggle was real.
We'll go on the championship fight. Sky Nicholson versus Tiara Brown. I had a look at Tiara Brown's record earlier. I think she's what 16 and 0. I think
18.
17 and 0. Oh,
18 and
8. There we go. I was close. Close enough.
he was close.
But
These are women that
I had to go.
Go on, sorry, mate.
Yeah, well, I had to go for Tiara Brown. I had to go to. I went to a box track. Obviously, I had a look at who she's fought, and it isn't anyone of note. Anyone will know. Anyone that will give you an inkling whether she has a chance in this fight, what her skill set's like. So I went to her amateur career and had a look at that. She fought Michaela Meyer 4 times in the amateurs. She beat her the first time, but lost the next 3. I think her last amateur fight was against Michaela, which she lost. She also fought Heather Hardy in the amateurs.
I liked Heather Hardy.
Yeah, she fought Heather in the amateurs. So she's got, it seems like a decent amateur background. She was around the top amateurs. But as a pro, she hasn't seemed to have done anything. I expect a quite a dominant performance from Sky. I think Sky outboxes them for 10 rounds. Sky hasn't got power, so I'm not expecting a knockout. But I'm expecting Sky to go on. Say that again. Sorry.
Sorry, she's a very classy fighter, Sky. It's almost effortless. She flows around the ring. Beautiful hand speed. What I will say, that you might call me a Doylan for this, is when she did beat Raven, I did think Raven actually gave her a tough time at times in that ring.
Yeah.
Like Raven's tough. I mean, I just been down to Royal Albert Hall where she boxed. Help me out, Stan. I've completely forgot.
Who did she fight? You know what?
Fighting stall. Lauren Price's missus.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, from pillar to post, mate. Absolutely leathered. That shows me this guy is going to get in trouble if Caris can get that fight. Does that make sense in what I'm saying? If Raven put that toughness up on Sky and actually tried to sit on her chest a bit, I think if Caris comes in, then she might actually really harm her. So if this Tiara can fight, not box, because Sky is a real top end fighter, then she's going to come up and struggle.
Yeah, I think the way Sky fights, she's one of the purest of pure boxers. That it's defense first, counter punching. Her jab is good, and she'll walk you onto shots. I think a come forward fight, unless you're a true pressure fighter, I think you struggle against Sky, because if you're stuck in mid range with Sky, I think her footwork and her hand speed is good enough to keep everyone to keep most of these fighters at bay. I think Caris is, because of the length and the size of Caris, that's a completely different fight.
The size of Caris is well. I shouldn't have said
that. What we got in the chat? We'll go into the chat in the last. We've got maybe a minute left.
What we got?
Rico saying, very proud of CJ and Eric. You guys have done a good job. Thank you. We appreciate it. What else we got? We've got Sky's gonna double jab feint, be on the back foot and win. I agree. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, yeah, that's what they say. Sky, you what?
Sky fine as hell.
Yeah, that's Rico. Your opinion. Raven one dimensional. Easy win for Sky.
Yeah.
Lauren Price's misses. It's a joke. I can't lie.
She is though, isn't she? They are actually like a full-fledged ting, as you'd like to call it, Rico. A ting.
Right, we've reached an hour already. Another episode down. Episode 11. Thank you everyone for getting involved on Twitter as well. I don't know if I could have even seen any comments from Twitter. I'm terrible with technology. I'm learning how to do this. So if there's a way to do it in the future, I'll read out those comments. But
If
I can't
Ez
even
is
lead
saying,
to. Yeah, I can't even lead to CJ about technology. He's worse than me. So
I had to go through an old box and find aeroplane headphones to put into my tablet. When they used to come with foam, like,
oh my god,
seriously, mate, honestly.
CJ, you're bad. But yeah, everyone, thank you again for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be back
Thank you, guys.
next week, same time, same place. More boxing to talk about. Keep getting involved in the chat, people. It's much more fun for me and CJ to get interacting with the chat and people's opinions. I appreciate Trey, Rico, Ra, Zach, all for getting involved. Who else have I missed? There's someone right at the beginning. I can't see, but if I've missed you, no, Warlock Boxing, I appreciate it. Rico, thank you for our first super chat. Right, we're moving up in the world. We've got £1.99, CJ.
I'm quickly grabbing it with both hands and saying, I'm going to put it towards Kate. Oh, I'm coming for you, bro. All right. I'm smashing.
Right, thanks for tuning in, people. Peace. You know what? I forgot to even do the out. Look at that. Terrible.